The new Xiaomi Pad 5 versus the iPad 9 Gen. You guys wanted this, and we are here to do a detailed comparison between these tablets and tell you which tablet you should buy, be it for multimedia or for productivity. I'll also be comparing the Xiaomi Pen versus the Apple Pencil and the keyboards, so make sure to watch the full video. Let's begin. So first up, the design. Here both the tablets side by side, and size and weight wise they're kind of close and similar, but both of these tablets have their advantages in the design. The Xiaomi Pad 5, for example, looks more modern with its flatter aluminium frame, and thanks to the thinner bezels, it manages to pack in a bigger screen than the iPad. The Xiaomi Pad 5 honestly looks like one of the modern iPads. The iPad 9 Gen, on the other hand, kind of looks outdated with its curved design and the big bezels on the front, but it has two functionalities that the Xiaomi Pad 5 lacks. It has the Touch ID, so you can just unlock it with your fingerprint. I mean, the Xiaomi Pad 5 has Face Unlock, but Touch ID is just more reliable. The iPad also has the headphone jack, which the Xiaomi Pad 5 lacks. Apart from this, the iPad 9 Gen has a metal back, while the Xiaomi Pad 5's back is plastic. Overall, the Xiaomi Pad 5 wins on the more modern design, while the iPad 9 Gen has more functionality. Let's talk about the display now. Both the displays are kind of similar in terms of specs, similar pixel density, same 500 nits of peak brightness, but the Xiaomi Pad 5 has a couple of advantages up its sleeve. One, it's a modern 120Hz display, which means the UI just flows. It's very smooth. Second, it has support for Dolby Vision as well as HDR10, and the shows that are compatible just look great. Now, if you don't care about these points, I found the iPad's display to be a bit more natural in terms of colors. That's there, but the Xiaomi Pad 5's display seems to be tuned to look like an OLED panel, and that's why the contrast and the blacks look better on it. See, I personally like the Xiaomi Pad 5's display more because it just looks more beautiful when watching shows and movies. Also, you should know that the iPad has a 4:3 aspect ratio that is geared more towards productivity, while the Xiaomi Pad 5's 16:10 aspect ratio is aimed at shows and movies. Apart from this, the iPad's display also seems more reflective in comparison to the Xiaomi Pad 5's display. Another area where the Xiaomi Pad 5 has an advantage are the speakers. The Xiaomi Pad 5 has quad speakers, while the iPad only has stereo speakers, so obviously the speakers on the Xiaomi Pad 5 are just louder, and it's also pretty good in terms of sound quality. Now, just to be clear, I found the iPad speakers to have a little more detail in songs when it came to instruments, but when it comes to overall preference, I'll choose the Xiaomi Pad 5 because it's louder and the sound quality is also fairly good. Moving on to the performance, which is also a big factor. Here are the specs of both the tablets, and first of all, points to Xiaomi Pad 5 for putting in more storage in the base variant. As for the chipsets, let me put it straight away, the Snapdragon 860 is good, it's powerful, and it's well optimized on the Xiaomi Pad 5, be it for day-to-day usage or gaming, but the iPad 9 Gen's A13 Bionic is just more powerful. The iPad beat the Xiaomi tablet in every benchmark that I ran, beat Antutu, Geekbench, or even 3D Mark. So the iPad wins on the benchmarks front, but if you talk about the day-to-day performance, both of these tablets are very similar. Both are almost lag-free and both handle different apps and multitasking with ease. It's also very similar in terms of gaming too. We played Asphalt as well as BGMI, and the performance is very similar on both these tablets. I mean, the iPads are known for their good performance, but I'm just happy that we have an Android tablet that actually competes well. Now, one area where things get very different is the software. I know you've been waiting for this MIUI for Pad versus iPadOS. But before we go any further, if you made this far, it seems like you're enjoying this video, so why not hit that subscribe button and that bell icon to make sure you never miss any cool tech videos like this one. See, I'll be honest, MIUI for Pad is good if you think about it from Android standards. Unlike most Android tablets which have the phone UI expanded for the bigger screen, this is more optimized, be it apps or be it the multitasking features. In fact, the multitasking features are kind of borrowed from iPadOS, but even with all these features, it can't really beat iPadOS. See, iPadOS is not exactly perfect. The gestures and the multitasking can get a little complicated, but apart from that, it's definitely the more mature tablet OS. I mean, iPadOS, you can simply hover an app over another to combine them in split screen view. And what makes this better is that the multitasking menu on the top can put any app to split screen or turn it into a floating window or a full-size one, but just the tap of a button. It works really well. The iPad Shelf is also a nice feature that lets you cycle through multiple windows of the same app, so you can treat them as separate instances. Now, it's not just multitasking. iPadOS has better, more useful widgets, and it has support for apps like Adobe Photoshop, which is a proper Photoshop app with features like layers, compositing, etc. As you can see, it works really well here. Now, there are also apps like Procreate and GoodNote, which are powerful apps for things like sketching and notes. Apart from all this, iPadOS works really well with the whole Apple ecosystem, be it iOS or macOS. There's obviously things like AirDrop, FaceTime, continuity handoff, and then there are more advanced features. For example, you can use the iPad as a secondary display to your Mac. You can also use the new universal control feature to use your Mac's keyboard and mouse with your iPad. This is super cool, right? See, there are a lot more features, and honestly, iPadOS is better if you want to use a tablet for productivity and also if you are in the Apple ecosystem. Plus, it will also be better supported by a big margin. Look, Xiaomi has confirmed the Android 12L update for the Xiaomi Pad 5, but that's about it. On the other hand, the iPad 9 Gen should get support for at least 6 to 7 years. Yes, I'm not kidding. To give you an idea, the last iPadOS update, iPadOS 15, arrived on the iPad Air 2, which launched in 2014. In fact, it even arrived on the iPad 5th Gen, which also launched in 2017. So yeah, there's no matching the iPadOS when it comes to software and support. Anyway, the battery is also an important factor, and both these tablets pack fairly big batteries, but somehow it's the Xiaomi Pad 5 that has the better battery performance. In our 1-hour 4K video playback test with the brightness set to max and the volume at 60%, the Xiaomi Pad 5 lost 14% battery, while the iPad lost 22%. That's a pretty big difference. We also played the same 2-hour movie on Netflix with the screen set at max brightness and the volume at full 2, and the Xiaomi Pad 5 lost 29% battery, while the iPad lost 37% battery. I also did an Antutu throttling test running Antutu on the trot 5 times, and while there was no throttling on any of these tablets, this is the first score and this is the last score, so there's no throttling, but the battery drain on the iPad was 27%, while the Xiaomi Pad 5 lost 22%. Now, the charging is also faster on the Xiaomi Pad 5. It goes from 10 to 50% in 46 minutes, while the iPad takes more than an hour. The cameras are another area where both these tablets are kind of different. The rear camera of the Xiaomi Pad 5 is better, be it in terms of photos or even videos. It supports 4K video recording, while the iPad supports 1080p. Now, rear cameras on tablets are fine. What's more important are the front cameras, and that's where things get interesting. So here are some comparison selfies, and the Xiaomi Pad 5's photos look a little sharper and more detailed. But what's interesting is that the iPad's selfie camera is actually a 120-degree ultra-wide camera. Because that means if you're going to do video calls, this is awesome, especially with center stage. So if you don't know, center stage is a feature that basically focuses on the subject in the frame. So here I am with center stage enabled, and I can move around and the camera will follow me. What's cool is that the center stage widens the camera when another person joins in. Yeah, this is great, and this actually works well. Lastly, like I said, along with these tablets, we also tested the accessories. So here's the Xiaomi Pen and the Apple Pencil side by side, and both of them have good features. The Xiaomi Pen has these 2 buttons. The button below opens up the Notes app to quickly draw or note, and this button also lets you switch between different pen styles. The other button lets you switch colors of the pen, and it also lets you take a partial screenshot like this. So it's good. The Apple Pencil 1st Gen, which this iPad supports, also has very similar features. You can swipe from one corner with the pencil to take a screenshot, swipe from the other corner to take a note or sketch. There's also a very cool scribble feature which lets you select text, delete text, or even insert text using just the pencil, and it's very handy. To be honest, the Apple Pencil is not perfect. It's a minor thing, but you can't even use the swipe up gesture with the Apple Pencil to go home or view the dock. Also, the Apple Pencil charges like this. Kind of reminds me of... On the other hand, the Xiaomi Pen has some good things. It costs 5,000 rupees compared to 8,500 of the Apple Pencil. And I like that it magnetically charges like this on the tablet. And you can use it to swipe up to go home. But the Apple Pencil is just better when it comes to latency and pressure sensitivity. We also tested the keyboard cases, and the iPad 9 Gen keyboard case costs almost 14K. Yeah, just Apple things. On the other hand, the Xiaomi Pad 5 keyboard case hasn't officially been priced in India, but it should be priced better. Now, I expected the iPad's keyboard case to be better, but it's actually the opposite. This is the iPad's keyboard in action, and the problem here is that the keys just don't have any tactile feedback, and it's just uncomfortable to type on. It's just really bad. Remember the butterfly keyboard on the MacBooks? This is that, but a lot worse. The Xiaomi Pad 5 keyboard feels like a proper keyboard with key travel, proper feedback, and you can actually use this unlike the iPad keyboard. As for the functionality, both of them have useful keyboard shortcuts, but yeah, overall the Xiaomi Pad 5 keyboard is just better. Well, it's time for the verdict now. The Xiaomi Pad 5 or the iPad 9 Gen, which one should you be buying? See, it's very simple. If you want to buy a tablet for maybe entertainment, gaming, the Xiaomi Pad 5 is the better choice because of its more vibrant screen, powerful speakers, and better battery performance. It's also good if you want a tablet that's slightly more affordable with more base storage and whose accessories are also fairly decent and affordable, especially when compared to Apple accessories. On the other hand, if you're looking for a tablet for creative purposes, maybe for drawing, sketching, some photo editing, and you are in the Apple ecosystem, then the iPad 9 Gen is for you with exclusive apps and just better iPadOS. It also has the faster chipset, so this is great for gaming too. Plus, it's the better tablet if you want long-term software support. So that seems pretty easy, right? Well, if you still have any more questions on the Xiaomi Pad 5 or the iPad 9 Gen, just comment down below and be answering as many questions as I can. So comment down below. Also give this video a like if you like this detailed comparison. And yeah, share this video for people who are confused between these tablets. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. And subscribe to our channel for more amazing tech videos.
WhatsApp's long-awaited feature is finally here. If you long press a message on WhatsApp, you get a pop-up with 6 emojis.